I thought I hit the pause button. Hello, everybody. Oh my god. Guys! Can you believe it? It's time! I won't lie to you. I had a jump scare. I felt like God was doing everything in his power to be like, you're not doing this today. Not at all. You can't. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna. Because I open up OBS and I'm like, I'm missing a lot of stuff. I was like, oh wait, I can't stream to YouTube. Why can't I stream to YouTube? Well, hello everybody. I'm no longer panicking. I'm fine. Yay. I promise it won't be this big. It's just it's just for me to introduce y'all. But let me go over here. I'm gonna set it up. Let me actually make sure. I know I have it here somewhere. Will you place each first? Okay, so let me show you the list first of all. Let me find the wonderful, amazing. Do I not have a? I guess I don't. Okay. Actually, I just did display capture. Yeah, and I'll select the Samsung. Bam! Yeah, baby. And then I will full screen that baby. And then let me move this, not that, move this down. I'm gonna need this for the other stream anyways, so that's fine. Bam. Hello everybody. Okay. So I am gonna re-upload this later on as a own separate thing. But the way the list works is quite simple. It's 1 through 6, meaning there is no 2 are in the same. No, it's going to be 1 through 6. So they're going to be in ordered. First is the best, 6 is the worst. That's just how it is. And everything I say is law and factual. No biases whatsoever, I promise you. But for some reason, if for some reason you guys don't think I'm being factual and there is some biases, then after this list, I'm going to make a very objective list that has what I feel, regardless of feelings, as one might say, of what I feel is the best or the worst. So, the way it's gonna work is multi-versions. So for example, blue and white, they're gonna go in the same tier, but I am gonna put the one first of what I think is the better version. That's how it's gonna work. Ideally. But to preface this, since I don't want to make it seem like I'm talking out of my ass, I played all 6 of these games. It took a while. I think like a year. I played 1 through 6 painstakingly, 100%ed. I know all the ins and outs, all of it, especially the parts I didn't want to see. But I know it all. I have felt many things. I have said many words. Might have said some really harsh words towards some things. But ground rules. The first one is going to be extremely factual and based on facts. It is by no means in any way, shape, or form my opinion. It is law. You will abide by it, and that's how it's going to be. And if for some reason you don't seem to agree with the very factual and lawful list that I promise you will be the bestest list of all time, then I will do another one where I'm going to remove any and all biases, and I will be as objective and punctual as possible while giving many reasons. Because I did think about this a lot of time, and I did play this for like a year, guys, so please bear with me. But of course, without further ado, I think it's time to begin. Now, I don't think I'm going to do it in order of game, so I think to keep the suspense, I did watch the new trailer What the fuck? What are you doing, bro? Oh my god. Okay. I'm going to start it off very simply. We're going to start in the middle. We're not doing first. We're not doing right in the middle. Right in the middle. And I think, personally speaking, and by middle I mean 4th place, by the way. So bottom 6. Personally speaking, you might disagree with this, but like I said, this is based on facts, scientific formulas. I have created a lot of math, and I think that belongs to battle number 5. And let me explain to you why. There is nothing wrong with battle number 5. No, okay, there's actually a few things wrong with battle number 5, but I feel, personally speaking, based on lots of facts, logic, that this game is painstakingly average. I feel like it, now it did try something new. If you like your Fire Emblem Heroes, if you like your Final Fantasy Tactics, you know, if you like that kind of stuff, you know, they tried this whole new mode, and it's called Liberation Mission. Now, for some people, it itches their fancy. For other people, they're buying hundreds of bottles of itchy powder. They don't want to deal with it by any means necessary. But the thing with battle number 5 is I feel like it is literally like the middle of the road game. It's not spectacular by any means necessary. I feel like the chip library itself is pretty cool. But it's not like holy moly. And I also feel like the souls in this game, they're fine. They're okay. I don't think there's like, I think the craziest one is probably Tomahawk Man, but that's because status card is pretty fun. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hey Gideon, how you doing? But I do feel like it's kind of like it wishes it could be better, and the story's fine as well. You know, it kind of ends the I'm forgetting his name, the doctor, Regal. I felt like it ended his story very well, and I don't really see very much wrong with it, to be honest. But I can't say it's great. I can't say it's fantastic. I can't even especially say that it's like above good, because this might be a hot take. I'm not counting 1 because that's just, I feel like it's unfair. Fuck them dungeons, bro. What are you doing with them dungeons, bro? Like, the first one where you have to find the letters and the numbers, it's fine, it's whatever. It's okay. It's a starting one. What do you mean I have to go and find ninjas? What do you mean I have to breathe underwater? With another dude, by the way. I'm not even me. I'm just some other guy. I'm like, damn. These dungeons suck. And it's even worse in the Legacy Collection, because they're like, you know, the Japanese had an extra room. And, what if we added this room's back? And they did. It was painful. Oh God. But of course there's good. The Navi's in the game. Pretty good. Although, I do have to knock off some points. Shade Man, he was a pretty cool guy in 4. Now he's just a guy in this game. It's kind of sad. Oh yeah, Joe Comp fucking sucks too. And you have to go back to it many times. But I guess I should probably order it. In terms of story, the story itself is fine. I think it's like your most hey, the net's going kind of crazy. It's being taken over by an evil team, and depending on which version you have, you either get Proto-Man, who you all know and love, or Colonel, who you've never seen in your entire life, ever. He was never in another series that we know that begins with letter X. And he looks cool, and he looks epic, and he's like, oh damn, I want to be that guy. I should be that guy. So otherwise, the story's fine. I'm not gonna go into the story or anything like that. So don't expect that on here. Chip wise, I feel like the chips are fine. I feel like in this game, there were high highs and your low lows, and it's like it's kind of there, I guess. I feel like not much really stuck out. But of course, the one thing that does stick out is the very loved, at least I like liberation missions, and I like them personally. Final boss, arguably one of the best final bosses in the entire series. I'm gonna be real with you. It's between Duo and Nebula Gray. They definitely got you beat there. It's kind of crazy. Personally speaking, I prefer Duo, but you know, for those who say Nebula Gray is also pretty cool, I can't blame you for that one. You know what? We'll shake hands. How about that? And then yeah, post game was it gets a bit weird, right? So with post game, you have 3 more liberation missions. Boy, they're headaches. But hey, you know, you're kind of expecting in that way, shape, or form. And after that, it's kind of it. Funnily enough, the portal system where I should probably mention. So battle number 5 did something very, very interesting. I'll talk more about it in its proper game. But battle number 5 essentially took the concept of you're facing a version for one particular version for the entire game. Version 1 of the enemy. You'll always fight the version 1 enemy at all times. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. And that's kind of weird. Unlike the other game that will be mentioned later, you can kind of turn it on and off. And it's hit or misses. I feel like it's a good thing that you can control it. It's just how you control it kind of sucks because you have to kind of traverse to the on and off switches. It's not like it's in your room, you know, you can just turn it on and off. Nah, bro, you gotta walk to it. And the other one, you have to like walk across the house or like 2 houses, maybe even 10, until you finally find the switch and you can turn it on. But that's how they control the version 2s and the version 3s. But the thing I didn't like about it, I didn't even know about this part until I started 100%ing this game, is not only does it change the viruses, but it also changes the green mystery datas. It also changes up those little tiny aspects of it. And when it came to completion, that fucking sucks. The amount of times I had to look at that guide and be like, what the fuck do you mean I have to turn? Oh, in order for me to get this green mystery data, I have to make sure that only one of the on switches is on and the other one has to stay off, or both have to stay on, or I have to turn both off. And it gets really weird and strange in that sense. I hate it. I feel like that to me was like, at that point, just let me start the game over and do something else, right? I did not like that aspect by any means necessary, which is why I kind of felt like it was a bit strange for me. Now, obviously, this is a game that has navies that you play as. So, for this roster, well, sure as hell can't zoom into there, but off the top of my head, Team Protoman has Protoman, Searchman, Napalm Man, Gyro Man, Betty, Magnum Man. We got it. And then Team Colonel had Colonel, Toad, Knight, Shadow Man, Tomahawk Man, I know I'm missing one. Colonel, Toad, Knight, Tomahawk. Number! That's... Sorry. But yes, I was like, no. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't really have an issue with these guys. I like them all. Hell, they introduced a female. When was the last time we saw one of those in this series? Technically, the greatest game of all time, but that's not on this list, so I can't talk about that one. You know, the one that can't be named, because if it wasn't this list, it would have been number 1. I gotta give these games a chance, okay? I can't talk about BCC. BCC is peak. Mount Everest, it's got nothing on BCC, okay? Nothing. But yeah, introduced Medi. I was like, okay, that's cool. Another playable female. That's pretty neato. I haven't had one of those in a while. But yeah, it is kind of weird that you can't even like necessarily enjoy them fully. Is what I would say. But then they created the DS game and they're like, hey, you want to play as all of them? And I feel like it should. I'm gonna be rude with you guys. I know I'm talking about it here, but I'm gonna mention all the ones. They should have never been split, but you know why they split it up. Those bastards. Dare they? I want 12 souls, damn it. Give me 12 souls. But yeah, so if I had to pick between which other versions are better, I'm gonna be real with you. I feel like 5? It's kind of hard to say. I don't have an issue with either. And I feel like each side counterbalances. Like, I don't care about number, man. Sorry. But on the other side, I can't say the same. But like, regardless, like, they all have their strengths, they'll have their weaknesses, and I really can't choose between one or the other. So I feel like for this one, I'm gonna keep it like that. But honestly speaking, it's really hard to say like which is better, because I like them both versions, because I should also clarify too, I played both of each version, so I kind of know how they all feel and mesh together, and I do feel like this is fine. You can say Proto Man's better, you can say Colonel's better, either or. I feel like 5 is painfully mid. Well, honestly speaking, that's not such a bad thing. I can't say the same for the other games though. It's either good or bad. Hey, ShadowRockZX, how you doing? But yeah, we're just starting it off with something that's right in the middle, the bar in the middle. And I do feel like we're in agreement that 5 is like, it's just kind of there. It's alright. And do I recommend you play 5? Yeah, I don't think 5's bad. Which version? That's completely up to you. Most people would say play Colonel, because Toadman is kind of busted, and I ain't gonna lie to you, he kind of is. So or it can be based, right? And just get the DS version. But unfortunately, that's not sold commercially, and legally speaking, I have to tell you, play legally by most legal ways, legal means. So play legally, please and thank yous. But otherwise, I really can't tell you which version. Pick your apple, pick your grapes, and you'll be fine. I feel, personally speaking. Now, we all know this is coming. We all know it. I'm just gonna rip the band-aid out. I'm gonna reveal the last slot, and it is precisely which one do you think of. That's right, the one that started it all. It's absolute dog shit. I'm so sorry. Or high five to everybody who agrees. Like, okay, listen, I'm gonna talk about a certain game after this at some point, and I have a lot of words to say, but this is undeniably the most first game syndrome of all fucking time, and it's fucking weird because this game actually did some pretty cool things, kind of, and then you're reminded, I can't run away. I can't run away. I need a chip, and I took it out of my folder. Help me, please. But yeah, story. I'm gonna be real with you. This is like, I don't hate it. It's. I feel like the story was probably the best part. It's not saying much considering what it is, but I feel like the story's fine. Like, it's not terrible. It introduced some pretty cool characters. Some of their mugshots were fucking weird, but otherwise, I think the music. I'm gonna be real with you guys. When it like, I'm not gonna talk about music too much because every single game has banger music. They just all do. It's like really hard. I can't say a single game has shitty music. They all have great music. Even this one. Actually, this one's, I ain't gonna lie to you, some of these. I'll be real with you. I feel like gameplay wise, this game is a dumpster fire, but damn, you're not bopping. You hear the virus theme, you're bopping like crazy. You're playing through the story, them bops are crazy. But fuck these dungeons. Oh my lord. These dungeons are absolute. Oh. Well, the first one was fine. And then it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And it actually somebody actually pointed this out to me. There was no, ever since 1, they stopped doing ice physics. You notice that? Like, in the overworld, there are, like, no ice physics whatsoever. The closest you can maybe say that there is ice physics is Slip Runner and 6. But that's optional and really funny. But otherwise, there is no ice physics in the overworld. Like, Iceman introduced it and just killed it immediately. You're like, we can't do this, bro. Oh my god. Not even Freeze, man. Like, oh, not even Starfruit, you're right. Like, it went to an entire new era, and they're like, nah, we can't do it. Oh, hell no. We can't do it. We just can't. I don't even think there's ice physics in the field in Star Force. But we'll talk about him later. But 4, I don't recall. I legitimately don't recall. There's like ice things, and I should mention I'm talking strictly overworld. Obviously, you have the ice panels in all the games, and those do have ice physics, but I'm strictly speaking overworld. No other Battle Network has it. That's crazy. That's insane to me. And good, because I would have fucked it up anyway. The chips. Okay. I'm working on a secret project. Okay. And I actually was using a lot of one's chips. What the fuck were they on about? No, some of the chips are really good. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I feel like they were on crack when they made some of these chips as well. I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at, bro? What do you mean there's no life sword? What the fuck are you talking about? What the hell's beta sword? What am I, beta? Listen. Okay. That's like the peak. That's peak chip design right there. What are you on about? Interrupt is peak, bro. Okay. So, let me explain Interrupt. Interrupt is a strictly PvP oriented chip, in case you don't know. It's absolutely useless anywhere else, but if you play PvP, what does it do? It takes away your chips. That's it. And then you realize something very dangerous. They didn't start doing time freeze. Or time freeze counters, I should say, until 4. So Interrupt basically said, hey, can you button mash? Because we can button mash. You won the game, brother. You know what's the even funnier thing? You can have 10 of them. 10 interrupts. Because fuck it, why not? You can have 10 interrupts. The funniest thing in the world. I'm gonna be real with you. It seemed like I stopped talking about the story, and that's because, yeah, it did. There's not much to it. If you've seen the anime, you know what's about, but it's fine. But yeah, back to the chips. You can hold 10 chips, by the way. You can have 10 Anubises, and 10 interrupts, and then the other 10 chips are the counters to Anubis. Like you get some area steals, you get some fighter swords, some dashes, all L's, by the way, all L coded, but mind you. And then I forgot which one, but one of the bad Mr. Prog chips. Those are also there as well because it's also a pretty funny counter. Yeah, that's about it, really. Yeah, that's about everyone in a nutshell. Chip was. It's really fun. Yeah, that's what it's called. Was it Rings Up? No, you might be right. You might be right. I think so. But it's the bad Mr. Prog that it has like a shock around, and it helps kill the Anubis in your back row should you unfortunately get to that predicament. Not to mention, here's the other broken thing that I miss about this game, but I'm glad that they never brought it back. Armors. They're kind of stupid. In case you don't know what armors are, it's this little doohickey you put on yourself. Since there's no styles by any means necessary, it's literally just you're just blue guy the entire game. But you can put on armors. And what armors essentially do is as long as you're not hit by its weakness, you take half damage. That's it. So it's like, oh, this shit's gonna take forever. Oh my god. So people play like some counter plays. Like I think wood was the most common one. I think I legit don't remember. Aqua. I think I said that's why they play the Mr. Prog one because that's elect and that like ruins Aqua. Because I believe you take double damage if you're hit by the weakness, but otherwise you'll always take half. I will say, again, this game's a dumpster fire, but I will give some positives. I understand why it was never brought back, but the field, the way it was designed, the way it was like each one had like a special design to it, like depending on what area you were in. I thought that was pretty cool. I get why they never did it again. They just kept it the generic battlefield from that point forth, because it is a lot of work. And imagine having that in 6. Yeah, I couldn't imagine that. That'd be a lot of work. So, but yeah, it was a cool thing, but they couldn't do it. I know they did a OSS, which is like basically one with Star Force elements to it. And unfortunately, that's only Japan. So legally speaking, I have to tell you that you can't play that unless you go to Japan and find it somewhere. Which in that case, sure, I guess. But otherwise, stick to your extremely legal copies of Mega Man Battle Network 1. Would I recommend this game? No, not even to my worst enemies. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I cannot feasibly recommend this game. Like, I know I am the type of person who's like, I have to play it all. I have to play it all. I'm here to tell you, no, you don't. just start with 2. Watch the anime for people who want to know what happened in 1, and then go from there. It's just so bad, dude. It's like it has such interesting concepts, interesting ideas, but it's the first game, and God, it's awful. I can't recommend this game at all. I can't do it. I can't. All right. Are you guys ready for the third one? Number 3. What is the third game in the series? Through facts and logic and science, elements were created to determine this third place. And let me tell you, we created 2 elements. One of them might be a dog, and the other might be a bird. That's right. Battle Network 6. Which is kind of crazy considering it's actually a really good game. So you know I'm serious with top 3. I'm just gonna say this outright. I deadass cannot tell you which is better. Like, I had a hard time with 5. I'm gonna have an even harder time with 6 because they're both fantastic. There is no wrong answer. And if you say it's falter because of Tomahawk Cross, you're going to get Blastmanned, and you're going to get Blastmanned again and again like 10 more times. I cheated 10 chips in one folder, baby. But no, seriously, they're both great in their own way. They're both fantastic. I'm dog boy all the way. Love my doggy, love my Slash. You can't go wrong with either one. But ShadowRockZX is considered to be the best of the entire series by many, and they're factually incorrect, but they're not necessarily wrong either, to be honest with you. ShadowRockZX is actually a pretty good game, I will say. It took them 6 games to finally define, refine, and essentially set the mood for Star Force, in a sense, right? So, in terms of story, it's pretty damn good. It begins well, it ends well, and it has one hell of an ending. It basically closes the chapter to the game, and that's about it, really. I don't really have too much negatives to say, unless I went into super detail, but I'm gonna be real with you. You should play these games. Truly, you should play these games. Chip play, this is where it's like, again, they refined the shit out of this game. They actually, they did it. They absolutely, like, there are some bad chips, but majority of these chips are fantastic. Navi Customizer, they finally refined it. They absolutely did it. In fact, they even made it better, and they said, why think in the box when you can think outside of the box? It's crazy. It's fantastic. The Navi's chosen, which is funny. I can't really say that for 1 because they're just kind of there. But for 6, they got some. It kind of feels like they were just here just cause. But I feel like at least for the 6 chosen, oh no, 5. Sorry, 5 chosen for your crosses. They did a bang up job. You got some returning champs. You got some new incomers exclusively for this game that you've never seen before, and it's like, wow, that's awesome. I've always wanted to be a train. You ever wanted to be a train or a Tonka truck? Hell yeah, brother, I'm there. Sign me up, bro. You wanted to be the dumpster truck that goes around picking up your garbage and recycles? Hell yeah, baby, I'm there. I joke, but honestly speaking, they're pretty good. Like I don't have any qualms with these. Even the villain navis that they chose in this game as well. I think the only weakest one in my opinion is Element Man. It's just kind of dude. He's basically the Captain Planet without the captain in the planet. And but he has the elements, so it's pretty cool, I guess. And he can't speak. He just says pee. He tells you to pee all the time, and you hope you understand him, but I think he just wants to pee, really. And the final boss. I didn't talk about the final boss in 1 because there is none. It doesn't exist. You just blink and you beat the game. But 6, well, I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, blank, and they're gone. But at least one of them survives a little bit longer. I ain't gonna lie to you, Chief. The bosses and the final boss in this game, they look cool. They look fantastic, but why'd you give Gregor 2 hitboxes, bro? Why'd you do that? Why? But honestly speaking, they're not bad. And post game as well. There's a reason I didn't talk about that in 1 either. What post game? It don't even feel like post game. Dead ass. I think you just beat the game, and technically speaking, you beat it all. Do you want the chips? You ain't get shit for it, but sure, I guess if you want to do that. This game though, it actually has a pretty good post game. I can't lie. It's fun. It's interesting, especially since they decided to put back the Japanese stuff. So the graveyard is actually a bit more lively than ever before. In fact, it's so lively that they somehow who's Yamato Man? Who's Japan Man? Hell if I know. My man Samurai Man though. Oh, rest in peace, brother. I miss you. Damn, bro. Base as well. I feel like I'm gonna talk about base separately. Because I kind of forgot to talk about it in 5. No, I feel like actually, yeah, early base in this game is pretty neato. You can just do it just cause it's not terribly hard. I don't think it's the best base though. I feel like 6's base is kind of there. He's not that commanding, in my humble opinion. I feel like 5 kind of has that there. If I go back real quick, so bound over 5, I feel like base 5 is kind of crazy actually. He goes a little Noto mode. I ain't gonna lie. But I feel like 6, it's not terribly difficult, but it's not like super easy either. So you'll have a fine time with it. And I feel like he's like whatever, in my opinion. And I guess I should probably talk about I'll be real with you. With 5 Giga chips, I don't remember very many of them. 6's Giga chips though are pretty interesting. Considering one of them was just a paralysis and they just kind of stay there for a hot minute. But they made Hub Batch into a fucking Giga. What the hell is that? That started off as a style. Then a part. Now it's a chip. That's weird. In fact, it was so weird, they couldn't even afford the H. It's just a back. It was so strange. But honestly speaking, 6 is like mostly everyone. Like 6 is a lot of people's first game, and that's perfectly fine. It's weird that you started off at the end, but to be perfectly fair, you were probably like 10 or something like that when you first started playing these games, so that's fine. It's not a bad start. If you started in 1, I feel bad for you, son. But yeah, I feel like 5 and 6 were like the ones where a lot of people started and whatnot, so it is what it is, right? I feel like that's all about. I mean, I feel like 6 is like the one that's like universally liked the most. I can't hate it. I can't even say I dislike it. I really like you started at 1? My condolences, brother. Oh damn. I mean, I was close. I started at 2, so I dodged a bullet. Oh god. But no, but yeah, I think overall 6 is pretty damn good. It might be 3rd on the list, but when I say it's 3rd, no, that's fair. When I say 3rd, it's still high up there though. So yeah, don't feel bad that it's 3rd because the other 2 are peak as hell. Let's be honest with ourselves. All right, I feel like I have to talk about 2nd place. And hell, actually, funnily enough, we just talked about it. Wow, can't believe it. It's 2. Wow. Hey guys. Facts and logic. No biases. 2 is fuck, man. 2 should have been 1. It's like it's hey bro. You wanna play a Battlework game? Start with 2, bro. That is true. 6 did rob us of guts, man. That's why I had to knock it down a peg. You're absolutely right about that one. But yeah, Battlework 2. It's basically Battlework 1 in a nutshell. What it should have been. Story-wise, it's pretty damn great, in my opinion. My humble opinion. Battle 2 also added a whole new system from 1, which is the ad system. Dude, I didn't even talk about the fucking system in 1. But to briefly go over the system in 1, so you have your chips. If you want more chips, you can wait a whole ass turn to get 5 more chips. And if you feel like 10's not enough, fuck it, get 15 chips, bro. You gotta wait 2 turns for it, but you know, who's counting? But here's the even funnier kick about 1s is the moment you pick your chips, they all disappear. They go back to the pack. I believe in the same order, by the way, so I guess you got a peek at what's coming up next, but yeah, that's kind of shit. Battle number 2 said, the hell with that, you have the ad system. The ad system. That system was peak. I wish they brought it back for the future games, but I completely understand why they never did. But yes, Battle number 5. Battle number 2 is peak. Story-wise, damn, it's kind of polarizing a little bit, because a lot of people die in this one. Like a lot. A lot of people get hurt. It feels kind of real. I ain't gonna lie to you. There's like a fucking plane attack that, you know, might coincide with a particular world event that we're not gonna speak about. You're a kid who gets lost in a country and then loses his passport and his best friend, only to yell at him and things like that. Hey, Decima, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, we're doing a tier list, baby. This game was real as hell, and it said "damn," and it was never said again. And they mentioned God. That was pretty cool, I guess. But two web places.
Server access. Rubber band acquired. Mega Man pop up.
We'll talk about 1. I'm joking. I feel like nobody remembers the things 1 says at all. I'm gonna be honest. It's funny because like, it gets real in there check. Too. What have you done? No. Cool shirt, by the way. Hi. Thank you for the posture check. Back to 2 though. Back to the 2 glazing. I did get that shirt. That shirt's amazing. They did animate car crashes, you're right. But that game fucking sucks. 2 does not though. So story-wise, it's pretty good. I think I even said 1 story was like fine, but good luck charging through the gameplay. Because at least 2's gameplay is pretty cool. It also introduced a whole new system with styles. I know, so I talked briefly about crosses in 6. I'm gonna talk about all of it in, you know which one. Because that's where it really started, if it makes sense. But 2 started with styles. What are styles? Well, if you do certain things, you can get certain forms and look cool. And what's your element? Flip a coin. Pray for the best. Don't get it luck. But no, so story-wise, game is pretty damn good. Again, I don't want to go into the story too much. I would rather you experience each story on your own. If I recommend the game, which I did for 2 of them. Don't play 1. 2 is 2's chips. 2's chips are really funny. They're either comedically broken or they're there. It's cool. At this point, they haven't established megas or gigas. It's still just which, by the way, I will talk about those in the game that it was introduced. So letting you know, hey Blaze, how you doing, buddy? So Battle Network 2, chip wise, honestly pretty neat. Most of the chips were really good. You somehow made a really stupidly useless chip called Wind and Fan into something glorious and hilarious, in my humble opinion. And in the Legacy Collection, you can have 4 dogs in your folder. That's pretty funny. They all do like a shit ton of damage. That's pretty funny if you ask me. But yeah, no, like all honestly, I feel like all chips are like pretty damn good. The Legacy Collections did teach me the ways of Mom Quake. What those was called, right? Oh yeah, the big, you got them big Jordans, big old Tims. He just steps on you and you're like, oh, that's 800 damage. Shit. That's always funny as hell. I feel like and then of course they had Life Sword. Can you believe this? It was introduced in 2, not 1. I mean, in the damn anime was struggling to get it off. I don't know how. You just put the 3 together. It's all you gotta do, land, idiot. But yeah, 2 had Life Sword. That's pretty cool. And they had like different versions too, which is even funnier. But you know, yeah. You know how Virus dropped chips? You just kill them and pray to God that you get that and not you don't get ass. Like I said, 6 refined a lot of things, and that was one of them. 2 is still, I was still working it. It was still working the kinks and whatnot. I would talk about PvP really, but honestly speaking, the only one I can really talk about is 6, because 6 is like really refined and pretty damn good. Everyone else, and 5 as well, but everyone else is for 2 is like, got Gator, got base, cool, I win, idiot. Oh, you can't counter with what do you call it, time freeze, because that shit don't exist. That ain't happened yet. So I'll be mashed invis, because if it did it, I'm gonna use Gator on you. You're gonna die. You didn't even pick a chip, idiot, stupid, dummy. Final boss. It's fine. It's okay. It's like Gregor, but without the 2 hitboxes, but he doesn't move too much. And he can actually block himself, but the chips you can actually get around that anyway, so it's fine. So it's not the best final boss, but it's definitely not the worst either. I'm gonna use Life Virus. Post game. Now this is where they properly started a post game. 1 kind of existed. That's alright. Oh yeah, gospel duping. Did you know gospel duping was in 1? Nobody knows because they're not gonna do it, but it did exist in 1. So it took 2 whole games to finally be like, oh shit, gospel duping. That's just crazy. What's gospel duping? Let me tell you about it. There's a funny thing where if you don't save the room, I mean, you don't save the game. So you just save the game, and then after you save the game, collect any chips from shops, Bugfrag shops, blue mystery datas or purple mystery data, any place that has a static location for battle chips that is not the chip trader. I guess I should mention that was another good thing about 1 is that they had the based chip. Yeah, gospel duping was in 1. It's just a very long and tedious process to get to, because you have to do the entire last part of 4, which, I mean, the last part of the 4th of the last dungeon in the final base, which really sucks because it's the Lekman's part. And then you have to fight Magic Man. And then you have to fight the final boss. Eventually you'll get it, but yeah, it was a much longer and tedious process where it's like, it wasn't really worth it, but you can't do it. But in 2, you can just save right before the final boss and then just get all your stuff and then go back and get there and boom. Well, no, save states wouldn't help you either, to be honest, because you have to collect the chip. So the whole point of gospel duping is once you collect the chips that you want to dupe, you go fight the final boss without saving, mind you. You have not saved up to this point. You've only saved the first time you started it. And then you beat the boss, you watch the credits, and then you start up the game, and then boom, you are started right before you saved. So any chips that you bought via the store, any chips that you got via trades or not trades, like emails, any chips that you get to the mystery datas, the Buckfrack shop, those will come back, but you still have the chips that you collected because what ends up happening is when you beat the boss, it saves the game, but not really. It basically saves what you have. Yeah, you can't chip trader either because 2 started the whole thing where the moment you chip trade, you save. So don't do it. Don't do it. You can thank 1 for that one. But yeah, so that's why you really can't use save states because, well, if you try to go back, then you basically just lost all your progress for nothing. So it's like, it's not really helpful, to be honest with you. But otherwise, that was gospel duping, and that happened in 2, and that's pretty based. Now back to the post game. The post game was actually really cool. It actually, the number 2 post game actually did a thing that I don't think ever happened again, and that was when I think you beat base for the first time, I think, and then you start leaving. It actually shows you all the bosses that you beat, and then like the time that you beat it the first time. And then it played like the triumphant music, and it was like, hey, congratulations, buddy, you did all this progress. Let me show you what you did. And I don't think it ever happened again in any game in the future, like ever. And it wasn't even like the credits or anything. It was just like, oh, let me just show you who you beat, and then that's it. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But otherwise, post game in 2 was pretty fun. There is an issue, I will admit, that there are some spots in the post game area where they're like, hey man, do you want to fight these things that you really can't kill unless you have this particular chip combination? Nah? Damn, son, I feel bad for you. And so yeah, there's like some hidden mysteries where if you didn't know any better, you kind of get fucked over, and if you didn't save, well, it is what it is, I guess. I'll talk more about it in the game that actually perfected it because they did pretty good. But otherwise, it's a great post game. And the 2's dungeons are pretty damn good. The worst one everyone will say is Freeze Man. And honestly speaking, it's bad, but it's not bad enough to completely kill the game. It's just a really sluggish back and forth, what do you call it? Not escort, but like you have to like get an item and you're like a delivery boy really for a hot minute until you finally fight the boss. But otherwise, yeah, it's fine. Like, I feel like they're pretty damn good dungeons in my opinion. Hell, I almost don't even want to say they're the best dungeons, really. Like, Freeze Man's the only bad one, but 5's dungeons suck. 1's dungeons are, that's how you vomit. And then 6 dungeons are fine. They're not spectacular, they're just fine. Yeah, could be worse. And 2's, I think they're pretty damn good. I feel like none of them are really. Oh, and 5's are. I already said 5's are cringe. Yeah, so 2's are fine, like pretty damn good. There's just that one, but I feel like that's like the just close your eyes. It'll be over soon. It'll be over soon. Just close your eyes. It'll be over soon. And boom, 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 there you go. You witness a man die. And it's kind of funny because you committed the murder as Mega Man, so I guess that was you venting your frustrations after going to that horrible dungeon. But anyways, should you play 2? Absolutely. Where have you been, my child? This is where it truly began. What's better over 1? Hell if I know. It started with 2. It always started with 2. I never heard of 1 in my life. I think 1's a fan project. It was probably a full scale graduation thesis thingy that they had to do. And 2 is like really damn good, in my opinion. I would definitely play 2. 2 is peak. I have to do this, don't I? I have to be absolutely factual and scientific about this one, huh? I'm gonna flip a coin to determine, do I talk about peak or do I talk about the biggest L? Let me know when ads finish. I'm gonna flip a coin via coin app, and I will determine, do I talk about peak or do I talk about L? Coin flip. Heads is peak, tails is L. I don't know if you can see it, but I got tails, so I guess we're saving the best for last, baby! You know it's happening. You know it's coming. If you've seen my shit, you know it's coming. Gotta do it. It's 3. I'm sorry. It just is. It's just 3, bro. And let me tell you why. For many years, I thought this game was fantastic. I thought this game was great. It does have a phenomenal story. I cannot deny that by any means necessary. That is scientifically proven. That is scientifically factual. I cannot deny the 3 story was good. Phenomenal even. You might have cried, which in that case, I laughed at you. And then on myself, because I also cried a lot. Play it, you'll find out why. But when I played this game in this year, it pissed me off. It did a lot of things wrong. But let's talk about the positives. I'm a happy man. I'm a very positive person. So let's talk about the positives. Number 1, it's got elephant poop. Elephant poop, greatest thing of all time. No, okay. Besides music, of course, it's got peak music. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no bias. We're talking about facts, logic, facts. The story, it's undeniable. Like every time I tell people I hate this game, they're like, "What about the story?" The story's good. I get it. The story is fantastic. You don't gotta remind me. It's a great story. Damn it. Why is it stuck behind the shitty game? It has panda butt. You're right. Damn. Shit. The chip play it's pretty damn good. I ain't gonna lie to you. It introduced the standard Mega and Gigas, so it did that, and it stayed that way for the rest of time. So that's pretty cool. Dog 3 was broken as hell. There's some chips are dog shit, but it has air shot 1, 2, and 3. Who the fuck uses 3 types of air shots, bro? But no, it has some really busted chips. Okay, like folder back. It has, honestly speaking, it's got like Flashman, bro. What do you mean? All I gotta do is just push the A button and I break your guard, pierce your invis frames, And if you happen to be standing on ice and they do over 100 damage and breaking your aura, that's crazy. That was more situational, but overall, Flashman was stupid as hell. It was great. Plant Man, it introduced a status and never came back. Never came back for good reason. And even then, like, it introduced metal gel. Like, don't want to steal panels. You want to steal, like, kind of go, like, around certain things. That's pretty cool as well. And it's just Magnum. Magnum's my favorite. Like, I feel like Magnum's, like, my favorite chip. Granted, it lost to Fire after 3, but it's a pretty damn good. I love Magnum. Such a good chip, bro. It's not even funny. But overall, like, the chip play in 3 was pretty damn good. It solidified a lot of things. It introduced Muramasa as a mega. I forgot I was in 2. Shut up. Don't tell me. Don't correct me. I promise you, if you correct me, I'm going to start crying like a little baby. Actually, I was in 1 too. Shit! But it gave a cool chip art that's really cool and people memorized, and you did like 99 damage and it was really cool. I promise you. Shut up. Don't make fun of me. But no, three chips are really good. Really broken. And considering the whole game is broken, I feel like it's fine. PvP's a nightmare though. Like, I'm a dead ass with you, bro. PvP is a fucking nightmare in 3. Holy shit. It's fun, but it's a nightmare. I'll get more into that in a bit. 3 also introduced a whole new system that is in 4 and on, which is, you know, the wonderful, amazing Navi customizer, which is basically you're playing Tetris in Mega Man's body. It's like a combination of Tetris and Operation, you know, that kind of thing. And I can talk more about it here because it actually introduced the whole thing. So Navicust is the system that kind of went on from 3 and on. So basically you collect these blocks and they will power up Mega Man in some way, shape, or form, and that's it. I should clarify, in 1 and 2 they had power-ups and they said fuck that, these are now the power-ups. And I won't lie to you, I love the power-ups, but I get it. It's kind of stupid. It's a little silly. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. But then 3 also decided, you know what, Navicus, let's tie that to story progression. Yeah, I'm gonna go there. Although, personally speaking, I don't have like a huge problem with it per se. And I'm talking about press. Everyone loves press. Do you like being tiny? I love being tiny. Do you like being tiny? I like being tiny. Do you like being tiny all the time in certain places in order for you to progress the story? And if you don't, well, you're shit out of luck. Fuck you. Turn small. And you have to do it. You gotta do it. And like every time, you gotta take it off, put back your optimal stuff, so on and so forth, blah 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 blah. And after you beat the game, you're like, oh, thank God, I no longer need press. I found a shortcut for the internet. I don't need it anymore. Thank God. Surely it won't come back in the post game in the 3rd area. If it does, I'm gonna be very angry. I'm gonna be very upset. I'll be back with that one. And then it had energy change. That one's my bigger problem, to be perfectly honest with you. I didn't like the concept of having to put on a program to break these certain elements in the overworld and have to sacrifice a chip, where I knew I'm based, so I knew it was coming, so I could farm for it, and that's pretty neato. But if you've never played the game before and you now find out that you have to kind of give up some chips, granted, as you progress you'll get water chips to recompensate, but I mean, tough shit if you don't got it at first. Stupid, idiot, dummy. Although honestly speaking, for the fire ones, just if you don't get anything cool and it is not progressive, you can just reset your save and like save before it, see if it gives you anything, and then if it gives you nothing, get out and, you know, save your fire chips. I guess that's pretty cool. At least they have the decency at the stage that there's always like a virus there to give you those chips, but you gotta grind for it, so have fun with that one, idiot. And yes, alpha is absolutely optional. You don't need it. But then you're gonna learn very quickly that there might be some spots where there's invisible goop and you might get grabbed and you might have to start over the final area of the game. But it is very optional and it's very trial and error, so I won't count that one too hard. It's fine. My biggest issue is energy change. Press, I feel like press is like that mosquito bite I'm kind of used to at this point. It's still bad, but I'll just swipe it off and shit like that. And like I said, the story's great. I cannot fault the story in any way, shape, or form. It's a pretty damn good story, especially the end. Play the goddamn game casually. Don't 100% it. For the love of God, please don't 100% it. Oh my God, if you 100% this game, God bless your soul. But yeah, great story. Even like throughout the whole thing, it's pretty good. It sucks though, because like I say don't 100% this game, but I gotta be fair, dog. I gotta be really fair with you. Fucking post game was fucking phenomenal. The things you have to do to progress it fucking sucked, but I can't deny fucking post game 3 was peak. I'm sorry. No, it really was good. It not only felt like, yeah, you're in the end. They did fix an issue in 2 where instead of like, hey idiot, don't walk in this corner, otherwise you're gonna face these giant pillars, they're there now. So at least you were warned beforehand. But you should probably save, because I forgot to mention this in the post game 2, and they kept the edition 3. Once you enter the post game area, you cannot jack out unless you go back to the portal you came in. So it's rough, it's crazy, but at least in 3, the music's tight. So you might be getting your ass beat left and right. You might be on like red HP permanently, but hey, banger track, bro. Bop your head to it and hope you don't die. But let me talk about my qualms with this godforsaken game. And that's funnily enough the Navicuts, but the styles. Oh, where do I fucking begin with this? So, to introduce styles, they were phenomenal. They were not needed for progression in any way, shape, or form. You get your style, and then you find out, oh, I can get 2 styles. That's pretty cool. And it's basically depending on your gameplay. That's cool. Completely unnecessary. You can beat the game without it. Hell, if you 100% the game, you can get a cooler one called Hub Style, and you basically, it's all the styles in one, but the only caveat is you lose half your health, so I mean, it's tight, but it's still a damn good style, so why wouldn't I use it? Get 10 chips, bro. It's just crazy. But oh yeah, Dark License, yeah, that's kind of stupid as well. What the fuck, bro? That's Krongo. But anyways, styles in 3 though. Let's talk about them. So styles in 3 actually became a bit integral to completing the game. Unfortunately. You see, it still gets the same concept of, depending on how you play the game, you will get a certain style. However, 3 decided to do something amazing and mitosis itself into 2 games. That's crazy. Blue and white, or black if you're Japanese, but shut up. And they're like, hey man, let's have 2 versions. This is where the 2 version bullshit started. And I hate you for it, you son of a bitch. I guess I should squash this, right? Which version's better? Now remember, kids and adults, this is factual, 100% facts. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. I went through formulas. I went through theses. I went through so much shit. I think I grew over a bigger appreciation for white. And yes, it has frog pen. But no, honestly speaking, I used to be blue all the way. Blue was like peak. But white opened my eyes. I'm like, you know what? White isn't so bad after all. White is actually not that bad. That exclusive style? Shit, that's pretty damn good. And talking about punk, who the fuck cares, bro? You don't give me shit. And in Legacy Collection, I got the chip anyways. I don't gotta fight that loser. That's a fight I don't gotta even out to. Punk, you a bitch. But no, seriously, my eyes are open to ground style. Ground style is stupid as hell, and it's great. Oh my god. I don't hate blue though. I will preface, I don't hate blue, but I feel like my third eye is open for white. I feel like white's pretty cool. And I'm gonna be real with you. I don't hate Shadow, but and it's got his hilarious implements in PvP. But fuck, it sucks, dude. Jesus Christ. Absolute dog shit, bro. I want to vomit. But yeah, because of the split, Capcom's like, hey, bro, do you like getting Arcanine in one version and Sandshrew and Sandslash in another version? Well, guess what, buddy? We got Shadow and Blue style and Ground and White style. Fantastic, right? They're fucking lovely, right? What if I told you that you needed 2 styles in order to progress this game? But hey, that cool Shadow, that cool Ground style, oh, that's so peak, bro. Hell, they even introduced a third one that's in both versions. And if you saw the anime, you know precisely where I'm going at, bro. Oh, you know where I'm going. I got corn in my ankles. My ankles are fat as hell. I can control bugs. Peak fiction, bro. I am there. I am going in and getting book style. It's a goddamn shame it doesn't help you progressing your game in any way, shape, form, motherfucker. Yeah, so, yeah, you are required to get 2 styles in the entire game. You have to get custom style and you have to get team style. Now, to be fair, custom style is pretty damn cool. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's just one issue that I have and I fucking hate with a burning passion. What do you mean I only need 3 chips? I think it's 3. It's a very low number. So what do you mean I need this to get 3 chips? I'll even excuse team style, because at least with team style, it's an entire line of Navis and they're all version 4s. I get it. Sure. Do I hate it? Yeah, kinda. But at least I can like grind it at the end. But even though I gotta grind for that shit, bro. And then you ask yourself, well, why don't you just get both styles? And then you realize you can't. Battle Hour 3 took away a slot. You can only have 1 style per cartridge. And you can't even trade it. They 2 had style trades, by the way. And at one point in your life, you could have traded hub style, which is funny as hell, but they can't do that anymore. Thanks, Legacy Collection. But can't do that. Can't trade. You can get Navicus programs, I guess. Sure, but why would you ever want to do that? But no. But yeah, you need 2 styles, so you have to get custom style to only get 3 chips, and you have to get team style to get all the Navi chips of the version 4s. So yeah, you got to complete your library you need 2 styles. But the game itself, like the box art showed me that, hey, there's these 2 cool styles. That's precisely why. And it still sucks. But it's like, why are you forcing me to get 2 styles when, one, you limited my capacity because you introduced a new Navicus system, and then you're like, well, why don't you just get the style and then just get rid of it afterwards? What if that tells you that there's some pretty cool abilities that you can get in this game? But in order for you to get those cool abilities in your Navicus customizer, you have to grind battles, baby. It's enough that you have to grind battles in 2. Well, that's optional. But now I gotta grind battles in 3. A lot. And I'm gonna be real with you, dog. Did you ever go to Trez and look at the requirements of how many battles you gotta do for each style and how to even get these styles? I wanna cry. I wanna just cry, dude. Cause I was just like, oh my god. I have to follow like the set formula. And Buster Max fucks things up, by the way. Don't use Buster Max. It'll mess you up, bro, especially in 2. But it's like, you gotta do all this shit. You gotta fight all these fights just to get these crazy programs. And I didn't even mention the fact that in each style, actually, before I even get to that, 3 did a very funny thing where in order for you to use these blocks and programs, you have to be a certain style to use certain colors. Otherwise, normal Mega Man only gets 3. And depending on what style you get, gets the 4th one. But here's the thing. What if you want to wear the other color that it's not my style? Napes, it's not. I'm sorry. No. Actually, you're right. Hold on a second. Not bad, bro. Don't clip that. But yeah, dude. I hate it. There's such a massive amount of grinding in this game. I despise it. I absolutely despise it. It's so stupid. And it feels like you're being worked against. I can go on so many details, but I feel like this will take too long. But Styles is a massive grind, and the fact that you need 2 of them to complete this game, it really just, like, it boils down to is like, do I really have the patience to complete this, to grind this game? Because if you don't 100% this game, you're not, if you're a casual, you're not missing much. But I can't deny it. Post game is fucking peak, but it's just locked behind such arbitrary grinding. It's not even funny. I hate it. But it did start off something cool to the point where it got better in 4, it got better in 5, and then 6 perfected it. So in my humble opinion, at least 3 had to start with somewhere. I will give 3 this though. 3 had the most broken hub batch of all time. In case you don't remember, hub batch in 1, you just kind of become it, and you're kind of God for like at the end, and that's pretty cool, I guess. 2, you have to work your ass off for it, but it's completely optional though, and once you get it, you do feel powerful. But you lose half your health, so that's a bit of a bummer. And 4, well, we'll get to that one. And 5, was there a hub batch in 5? I think it was just the base crosses, right? I think so. I don't think there was a hub batch in 5. I think that was the Navicus, but even then it's like, oh, it doesn't have hub batch. Okay. I had to think about it. I was like, no. And then 6 brought it back as the Giga chip, I guess. It was a mod card, I do remember that, but like legitimately in the game, I don't think hub batch was a thing. I'm pretty sure. But 3, 3. Let's talk about mods, baby. So in 3, there's a guy who's like, hey buddy, do you want to do some pretty sick, very legal things to your Navicus? Cool. You can put on sick passwords to get cool abilities. But if there's like a program that you're trying to use that's not your color, and if you know the code for it, cool, you can use the program now. That's sweet. It's a bit of an extra, or if there's something you want to use that's really good, yeah, you can go ahead and slap that baby on and boom. Navicus is pretty damn good once you grind out all the shit. Have fun fighting thousands of battles to get all those things up, but you know, Godspeed, right? However, in 3, you find a batch, I believe, behind a thing, and you have to do like 30 battles in a row. So have fun with that one, by the way. But once you do, you're the most broken thing of all time. Hub Batch in 3 was busted. Because it wasn't even huge. It was a fucking square. And if you shrunk it, it loses a square in like the top middle. That's crazy. And then you find out, okay, so it's a color that no other style has. So you're forced to use the mod code to be able to use it. Okay, I guess that's one balance. What does Hub Batch give me? Well, it gives you super armor, air shoes, float shoes, a bunch of other shit. Your max buster, but more importantly, break buster. That's right, break buster. What the fuck's a shield, bro? You don't got no damn shield. You don't even got a rock. That rock is dying. Rest in peace, rock. It's dying, bro. What do you mean you get a break buster? Not even break charge, break buster. Just shoot a lemon and that. It's like, it says if you threw a lemon at like a steel wall and it just destroys it. It's just utterly destroyed. And then here's the thing though. Oh, it has a caveat where it's bugged and you lose half your life. Oh, that's cool. Can I fit in bug stop though? And it turns out you can. That's right. You have Hub Batch, you have bug stop, and if you want to get funnier, you also have fast gauge. For some fucking reason, they made fast gauge into a goddamn Navicus. So, you got bug stop, you got fast gauge. Although it's not really useful in PvP, so I might want to do it with that. But you got bug stop, fast gauge, Hub Batch, and I got my full 1000 HP, and I'm God basically. That's broken as fuck. Fuck, bro. The biggest positive I can give 3 is this is broken as hell. It's fun too, but I hate the caveats. I can go so much more for the caveats, but it's like, oh god, like even hunting the navies is actually, I'll get into that. So every game you have to hunt for navies. You have to find them in a specific area, like a specific part of the map, and then in when you jack out and jack back in, they're roaming in that one area that you found them in, and that's it. That's how you get your V3s and all that cool shit. However, 3 actually did some pretty cool shit with it. I won't lie to you. This is where I give another W to 3. The way they actually implemented the different bosses is actually really, like, the way they hinted towards you is really cool. So to give some examples, right? There's a prog in where Flashman's at, and he actually kind of mentions that there's like like a static interference in the area. He basically mentions that there's some electrical wiring stuff going around in that area. And if you also notice in that same area, he's also you also see an elect virus that you normally don't see in that area. And Battle Network 3 does this a lot with all the other bosses. One of the hotel keepers, or like the hotel people in the hotel, mentions that, oh, the TV is like kind of staticky and busted and it makes this hissing sound. What Navi made a hissing sound? Desert Man. The fact that it found really cool and subtle ways and gave like these really cool and niche ways of finding these Navis, I find to be fantastic. The one that gets complained about though is Bubble Man. Bubble Man, I think he's mentioned by somebody, right? But essentially Bubble Man's a coward. And in his area, if you try to go around and find him normally, you're gonna realize you kinda can't. And that's because Bubble Man has a caveat. And the whole thing with Bubble Man is that he's a coward. He's a little bitch, baby. Little bitch. And he will only fight you if you have red HP. And I'm not gonna lie to you, people don't like that. I like it a lot though. I feel like it is it fits his character to a T. It's so cool that they actually did it that way, and I don't mind it. Here's where my problem lies. Where it actually lies with Bubble Man. And it's only specifically Bubble Man. The other Navis are kind of not that case. But they all have kind of their issues here and there. I mean, the encounter rate fucking sucks, I ain't gonna lie to you. But here's my issue with Bubble Man. You see, remember how I mentioned that each area there's like specific Navis that are kind of paired together, or viruses paired up with the virus battle? I'm sorry, the Navi battle. So Flashman, there's some battles with viruses, and they have like the Elebit virus. I think for Desert Man, some stages have sand, which he's sand, so it makes sense that there'd be sand in his area. Well, Bubble Man uses shrimpies, and it has like a hole in the middle to signify that, oh, he has a hole. And there's a rock in some of them too, I believe, to signify, yeah, this is where Bubble Man's at. Here's the thing though. You're trying to find this stupid Navi at this low HP, which is fine. I'm okay with it. Do you know what happens when you are in a virus battle? Well, actually, before I even get to that, okay, you want to conserve your health as much as possible, so you don't want to fight anymore. You're already down to red. You want to escape this battle. Well, guess what? For some fucking reason, the virus battles that are paired up with the Navis, you can't run away from them. No matter how much HP you got, no matter what your progress is in the game, you cannot run away from them. You have to at least attempt 2 or 3 more times. Or if you're sensible, you're like, I don't want to fucking wait, like 16, 20 seconds just to fucking escape. Fuck it, I'll just kill him. Do you know what happens when you have red HP and you kill a virus? Do you know what they prioritize? They prioritize healing. Sorry, you have a high chance that you're going to be healed in these battles. And I'm like, why would you do this to me? You set me a stipulation where I have to be low HP to see this stupid ass bubble bitch. Which I'm okay with. I think it's cool. I'm giving you all the compliments I can. But what do you mean I can't run away from the virus battle, so you're also paired with this stupid Navi? And what do you mean I get healed if I kill them? I hate it when games not necessarily set up obstacles, because I do want to, I don't mind them setting obstacles. The whole point of a video game is to overcome those obstacles in any way, shape, or form. But I fucking hate it when I'm trying to overcome these obstacles and you just push my ass back as I try again, fucker. Why'd you do that? Oh, I felt like it. Stupid. that irks me to no end. And I feel like Battle Network 3 is kind of that in a nutshell, where it feels like you're progressing, you're trying to play by its rules, but then it says, fuck you, I'm just gonna go back a few steps, idiot. I hate that feeling. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I am very gameplay oriented. I value gameplay much more than story. If a story's good, the story's good. I'm not gonna deny it. But for me, I value gameplay the absolute most. And Battle there just fucks me in the ass, bro. Completely. I hate it. I would never curse my enemies to 100% this game. Although more than likely they would anyways, because they love the game. Weirdos. But that's why I rate it so low. Which is, it's weird because I even praised Battle Network 3 for the longest time until I actually sat down and 100% of the game, and I'm like, man, this is some ass cheeks, bro. Now there are times where I'm like, it's fucking worse than 1, but then I remember, no, it's not. I through facts and logic, mathematics speaks for itself. 3 is better than 1. It's just I can't defend that. And that's about it. I mean, there's much more to it, but I feel like if I talk more, I'm gonna actually talk a lot more. So I'll leave it at that. I'll just say it's 5th place. You're lucky I didn't put it in the fucking bottom where it belongs. Sorry, my inner thoughts are escaping my mind right now. But now it's time. Through facts and logic and science, and through many elements that I have encountered, the red sunium and the blue moonium that I have developed over the years of scientifically finding out if I'm fucking batshit crazy. Don't answer that question. But yes, of course, it is Red Sun. Peak. So good. So fantastic. I'm not biased by any means necessary. I'm not clinically insane. Shut up. If you got this far, yes, it's biased, okay? Don't tell chat, keep that secret. Shh. We're not biased. It's facts and logic. But no, I really like Battle Network 4. It kind of grew on me, and it kind of like it did many things to me. It changed me. It molded me into the man I am today. It tells me, you know, maybe this game ain't so bad. Okay, no, deadass. It's so hard to keep a straight face because I like okay, generally speaking, I do like this game a lot, but I understand it's got its issues, a lot of them. It molded me. Dude, there's gonna be a video that comes out later on, and you're gonna get your mind blown. I was born to it. You merely. I'm just gonna talk like Bane and be like, you see, I was under the red sun the entire time. It changed me into a man, a very powerful man. I was able to turn into a pink creature, and it healed me every time I used a chip. It was fantastic. It was wonderful. It felt fate. It felt so good. Oh my god. Have I ever told you about my favorite dungeon, Park Area 3? I'm so sorry. Okay, but seriously though. Story-wise, it's a tournament arc, bro. What the fuck do you want? My Hero Academia did it. Y'all loved it. Shut up. It is really fun to think, though, that Deadass 3 ended with the way 3 did. And everyone was so happy and emotional. And they're like, nah, bro. Tournament arc. Shut up. Bring them back. We gotta do some tournaments, bro. Don't you ever diss my favorite dungeon, Park Area 3. Okay, but it's there. You kind of blank, and then you're in front of this massive man who's like, I have to test you to see if you're worthy of living, and if you're not, I'm gonna destroy your planet. But if you are, I'll let you guys live. And Mega Man's like, okay, cool. I'll get to that though. But otherwise, I did learn something though. A good friend of mine named Demi. He is still recovering. I support him as in any way, shape, way you possibly can. But he, bless his soul, played Peak for many streams. For a very, very good cause. He has my utmost respect for it. But I learned some things in that I don't even fucking know about. Did y'all know that in 4, you only get to automatically save in your bed like once? And then after that, never again? Until you start the game over at least? That's funny as hell. But yeah, so story is there's a tournament arc, and you're like, all right, cool, bro, I win all the tournaments, and then it turns out that there's a fucking meteor about to hit the planet, and if you don't kill it, that's it. I talk about 4 story because honestly speaking, you're not gonna pay attention to it. So I might as well just kind of tell you here and there. But in doing so, 4 did something very unique, and I'm gonna be real with you. I unironically like this feature, but I completely understand why people not only don't like it, but I will also admit that Capcom was too goddamn ambitious with this idea. So remember how in 5 we had mentioned that there's like these on and off switches in order to raise the virus difficulty or lower the virus difficulty? Well, Battle Network 4 says, oh, fuck that. It turns out that this game is actually pretty damn short. And if you beat the game, you can go on to continue too. What does that mean? So throughout the entire game, you're only fighting the version 1 of things. It's not bad. You know, it's pretty cool. However, when you beat the game, any progress that you have made via your inventory and things like that, you keep. Unless it's story related, then you don't keep that. But otherwise, you keep your chips. Yeah, you keep your chips and your money, and you know, your you see, chat, you might be upset at the fact that you must build a sea slider over and over again, but I will tell you, I fucking hate it too. I can't meme that shit up. It's kind of annoying, but to me, it's like, alright, I guess I'll play your fucking game. At least you're giving me the money for it, so could be worse, I guess. But it is a bit of a nuisance that you have to like spend money each and every time to get this board. I'm kidding. And yeah. So what happens if you continue on continue too? Well, you play the same game, except now the viruses are stronger. And it's the same thing in 3. They're even stronger to their final form. So version 3 is like the highest you can get, right? But go back to continue 1. Okay, cool. So what makes the scenarios and whatnot in Battle Network 4 special or interesting compared to the other games? Well, I'm not joking when I say this is a tournament arc. This is basically a tournament arc, the fucking game. You got a few dungeons here and there that many people have varying opinions on. And I 100% factually say that they're based. It's kind of. Yeah, but otherwise, like, there are scenarios in the tournament that, depending on which version you get, you are given a scene to then go ahead and introduce basically what becomes the system of all games is the soul system. Whereas instead of becoming a cool dude with a giant fist or a cool scarf or fat fucking legs, you get to become your friends who might have big fists, cool scarves, and giant fucking legs. It really depends, honestly. But yeah, you get to become friends with some dudes. You might know some of these dudes. Red Sun has two of your best friends. That's pretty cool. So Gut Soul and Roll Soul, which are the best souls, and well, Roll Soul is really. Gut Soul is actually pretty good. I ain't gonna lie to you. But then you got some really cool ones like Search Soul. And then you have I gotta say his name. Thunder Soul. Yeah, he kind of exists, I guess. Points. Fire Soul. Oh damn, that's a pretty damn good one. Wind Soul is kind of funny. It's alright. Could be better. I'm talking about Red Sun specifically. But if you did pick Blue Moon, since you're mentioning it in chat, you do have Aqua Soul, which I got better in 6, but it's fine here. Then you have Metal Soul, which I think is like the best soul in Blue Moon. Maybe next to Wood Soul, because Wood Soul is kind of funny too. And you got Junk Soul. It's very, very niche but very interesting soul. They have Proto Soul. Congratulations, you get through Proto Man. How does that make you feel? You finally did it. You can be Eugene Cha 2.0 for like 3 turns. Dummy. And then you could be, who was the last one? Number Soul, which is really funny because Number Man is kind of whatever, but Number Soul, 10 chips, baby. Oh, you got me. Fucking fresh as fuck. They're pretty cool. I prefer Red Sun. I will always prefer Red Sun over Blue Moon, but Blue Moon's not bad. I can't. Did you ever have to feel the pain of punching rocks? Because boy, do you. But yeah, so the different scenarios that you get in the tournaments are like, they range from, oh, that's pretty cool, to don't ever do this to me again. And then you have Water God, the best scenario of all time. You cannot tell me otherwise. What do you mean you don't like to worship a deity who controls all your water and shit? What do you mean you don't like to go through a maze and find some dudes and turns out they're dead and then you gotta fight their dead souls and thank you. And you gotta do that. What do you mean you don't like the greatest chip of all time stuck in there, and if you don't get the scenario, you might not get it at all? I don't fucking know. What do you mean things? What do you mean I got Water God 3 times? It's base. It's crazy. It's awesome. Shut up. Don't complain. But yeah, so its whole concept is throughout each completion, you're supposed to get a different scenario. Your souls, that's how you get like all 6 souls. You have to do it several times, or one playthrough will give you 3, another will give you 2, another will give you 1, so on and so forth, things like that. By the end of the 3rd completion, you will have all 6 souls. That's how it's supposed to work, at least. But then, like, you gotta ask yourself, all right, you're talking about all these tournaments. What about dungeons? Well, you got Park Area 3. Like Park Area 3. It's a pretty cool place. Might go there a few times. No. It's a cool place, right? That's cool, right? Well, believe it or not, it does have dungeons. 3 of them, actually. I'm trying to remember. You have the first one, which I can't deny. It's absolute dog shit. Like, I would have no issue with the Elect Tower comp if the spawn rate wasn't so random, or they gave us longer time. You know, Just give me more time, damn it. And then you have RoboComp, which I will defend to the ends of Earth. I don't think it's that bad. I think y'all complain too damn much. Y'all just trying to hate on my mans. What the hell did WizDog do to you? You learned that his rival was a monkey, not a cat. Stupid. Oh yeah, in case you didn't know, Japan was like, hey, let's teach these Americans really cool lore from Japan. And surely the dog's rival wouldn't be the cat that we all know here in America, but it's actually a monkey. So there's that cool thing as well. Listen, I'm just saying, I get it, but RoboComp ain't that bad. Shut up. Damn it. I'll give you a Lake Tower. Not RoboComp. RoboComp is based. Amazing. And then you have the Meteor Comp, which is the last one, and that's alright. Although I will give Demi this one. It's kind of crazy that, you know, the part where it's like, hey, there's a gravitational force trying to pull you up, and if you don't do anything, you're gonna be taken back to the beginning. Yeah, they don't tell you shit. Like, he played it like, I don't know, fucking 14 times. He played that damn game. Not once did it ever tell you, hey, you gotta mash your buttons in order to like survive that area. I'll give you that. That's kind of funny, but damn. I mean, it's not bad. You just gotta walk through some domino tiles on the ground in order and get some planets going, and then you fight the final boss. It's pretty neat. But yes, now let's get to why I truly like Battle Network 5. Sorry, 4. Oh, I almost vomited in my mouth saying that word. You see, the story, I'll give you that one. The chip play, though, and the gameplay, that's where it's peak as fuck, bros. You see, Battle Network 4 decided. Well, actually, before I even go into that, so if you played Battle Networks 1 through 3, you kind of notice that Mega Man and them are tall as hell, and the colors are somewhat not as colorful, I guess to put it. You know, it's a thing, right? When you play 4, it's an entirely different world, bro. Man's tiny as hell, but Jesus Christ. I felt like Logan Paul when he put on those fake ass colorblind glasses and he saw color for the first time. That was me. I was like, oh my god. That man's tiny. That man's colorful. That man's vibrant. I don't know why he's tiny, but oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. And that style stayed from 4 and on, to put it in perspective. So, it was definitely something to get used to. It's funny as hell. But back to the chips. Back to the chips. And the gameplay. You see, Battle Network 1 and 2 had well, okay. Let me start over. Battle Network 1 existed. It had a very shitty system where you have to wait a whole ass turn to get more chips, and they don't even stay there for who fucking cares. 2 and 3 introduced the ad system. Well, 2 specifically, and 3 had it again, where if there's some useless ass chips in your folder at the current time, you can wait a whole turn, get rid of those chips, boom, more chips. And you get more in your custom. Great, fantastic, wonderful, amazing, epic. And then 3 even introduced the counter mechanic, where basically if you happen to kill a virus or enemy right before they're attacking, you can counter them and you get bug frags. I'll give Battle Network 3 that. The way y'all farm for bug frags, it was pretty good. And then 4 said, you know, that's a goddamn good mechanic. But what if we allow you to counter any attack? And if you do so, you can do ×2 damage. And you get this sick ass form and this fucking hula hoop float around you. Let's call it full synchro. From that point forth, Peak was born. Battle Hour 4 created full synchro. You counter your fires, you counter your Navi, boom, full synchro. Your chip now does double damage. Whether it be a singular hit or a multi-hit. There you go. That's sick as fuck. And that's a staple that stayed all the way till 6. Now, granted, 4 had a really funny way of also letting you get full synchro, aka, I call it combo synchro. I don't know what the fuck it's actually called. But basically, if you multi-hit enough times, you just kind of get it. And it's funny when you throw out a air hockey, and then it's like, oh, you're getting hit a bunch of times. Oh, I just got full synchro just because. I just throw another air hockey, and, you know, you get some cool shit here and there, right? But that's right. Full synchro. Fucking. Excuse me. Fucking phenomenal. Oh no, okay, so like I said with 3's peak, and it was supposed to end. But Capcom said, nah bitch, you made too much money. At the time. And they're like, we're making more money. They basically had the fuck his name, Sean McMahon? I think it was Sean. Wrestling. Here comes the money! Here comes the money! Yeah, yeah, they wanted money. And these games they made them fast, so, you know. Fuck a tournament arc, which is why Battle 4 was the best seller, baby. Peak, baby. It didn't ride by no success of Battle 3. What you talking about? Shut up. Battle 4's peak. Always be peak. Became bestseller. Twice. You tell me that. Peak. That's always number 1, baby. Battle 4, number 1. Chips though. It introduced some pretty crazy staples like Vulcan, air hockey, the souls as well. Being able to use said souls or said chips to essentially sacrifice them, and then you can turn into a whole ass new form. And then not only do you get cool new powers and shit, but now you can enhance your chips even further with the shit that you get. And it's fucking crazy. It's phenomenal. Even. It's fantastic. Now obviously chip does get a bit better as you go on, and as we all know, 6 is like the most refined one. I cannot deny that from 6. So Thor did first. 4 set the foundation for your man to run. Okay. And then forms are great, chips are great. I'll give you story. Story's yeah, it's there. Final boss though. Let's talk about this final boss. Now I said Battle Hour 5's final boss, peak. Amazing. Nebula Gray, goddamn good boss. But personally speaking, through facts and logic, Duo, it's top tier. And I didn't even get to the part where Battle Hour 4 also introduced something fucking greatness. So I'm gonna pause on Duo. I gave you a small teaser, but now we're gonna actually pause and show you what else Battle Hour 4 introduced. And I didn't mention it in Battle Hour 5 because I wanted to mention it in Battle Hour 4, and I will elaborate for 5 as well. Battle Hour 4 also introduced a brand new chip type, and it's called Dark Chips. What is Dark Chips, you ask? Well, some idiot on the internet was like, what if we just put some sprinkles of evil in these chips and sell it to the world and then corrupt their souls so that they can be evil and we can take over the world. And then they looked over to each other and like, that might be the stupidest idea you've ever told me. Let's do it. And they did it. Dark chips was born. Dark chips were basically extremely overpowered chips, but they had a cost. One hell of a cost. Where, well, first of all, in order for you to even, well, besides get him in the story, in order for you to even use dark chips, you kind of have to suck a bit. You know, just like, gotta get smacked around a little bit and be like, oh man, oh yeah, that's another thing I even kind of forgot to mention. Battle Before also introduced the emotion window. See, now, like everyone who likes to tell how you feel and things like that, now you can tell how Mega Man feels. If Mega Man feels like a winner, you're gonna see his face like this. But if Mega Man is full synchro, he's gonna be locked in. He's gonna be locked the fuck in. He's gonna be like, I'm gonna beat that ass and do ×2 damage. However, if you get smacked around in the face a lot of times and it hurts, well, Mega Man, I see you're in trouble there, Mega Man. What if I told you I had dark chips? You thought you embraced the darkness, but I was molded by it. I was in there all along. My sword was massive. My bombs were explosive. And more importantly, my recovery was phenomenal. And thus, you get 2 dark chips. Two little doohickeys in the bottom right there. They're like, hey man, I think you're kind of like struggling there a little bit. You know, maybe you wanna use these chips, bro. I would shove a pill bottle, but I feel like that's against TOS. I don't know, but what do drugs, kid? So basically, it was a gate. It was basically peer pressure if you really think about it. It's like, hey, bro, want to use some dark chips? And if you did, you turn evil as fuck. You turn purple. You get all this crazy shit happening to you. Wow. And yes, as you mentioned in chat as well, there is one other emotion where okay, so I think it's somewhat different in every game, but I'm going to use Battle 6 logic. If you get hit enough times, or if you take like a massive hit, you turn angry. And angry Mega Man is very angry. It is like full synchro where he does ×2 damage. The only difference is that he actually gets super armor. So getting angry gives you super armor, which is fucking peak fiction if you ask me. And then after you use it, you're just back to normal, I guess. I think you also get it in Worried if you get hit enough times as well. I don't remember per se, but yeah. If you're paying attention to using a dark chip, do keep in mind that it does have a cost, and that cost is one life permanently from your HP. So imagine seeing 999 or less. You're crazy if you use less. But yeah, they introduced drugs in this game, and it's kind of crazy. And then in 5, they actually have it so that I mean, you still get word and things like that, but they now have it so that there are specific chips, like, I don't know, Dark Meteor, Dark Sword, or Dark Dark Invis is funny as hell. But they also introduced something in 5, which I found to be peak fiction. I'm pretty sure a lot of people love using it, simply because it was broken as hell in these in Battle 5. But the Chaos Unisons. So in 5, they're like, "Hey, do you want souls? Cool, we got you. What if what if you can go into a dark version of your soul and it doesn't even cost you HP? You'd have to be very good with your charge shots, though. And if you're not, then, well, I feel bad for your son. But otherwise, you have the power in your hands. Now, they did limit it to, I believe, 3 in your folder. So at least you can pick your, like, stuff. Like, maybe in this one battle, Ozempic is good. Heroin is good. Marijuana is good. But maybe in this other battle, maybe Ozempic is not that good. You might want to use something else. These are jokes, by the way. Don't use drugs. Very bad. These are just knowledge. But yeah, basically, bet over 4 just throw them at you, and bet over 5 you can control it, but you can surpass powers beyond unimaginable things. So at least in that aspect, bet over 5 did better than 4. 4 was just a blueprint, and then 5 ran with it, and then it never came back. That's depressing. I wish it came back in 6, but unfortunately, it did not. It is what it is, I guess. What are you gonna do? And then, so now let's talk about post game, because post game's different. So when you first beat the game, you kind of tend to realize I can't do everything. And why is that? Well, that's because this game decided to do something very ambitious, and can't lie to you. Cannot lie to you. I love it. I absolutely love it. But they flew too close to the sun. The red sun. Poetic, really. And in trying to be as really cool and awesome with the files and the different continues and having to get everything in 3 continues so you can progress the story and the post game, they kind of fumbled a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of stuff. And it does cause a lot of issues that I can't overlook, to be honest with you. But yeah, this is where a lot of people get lost. This is where people are like, yeah, I hate this system. And I'm gonna be real with you. 1-to-1. Don't tell anybody I ever said this. If you do, I'm gonna deny it. Even if you bring it up, I'm gonna say you AI generated it, and they'll never believe you. It could have been so much better. It could have been much, much better. But at least with me personally, I don't mind it too much. I guess I don't know, it didn't bother me as much, which is why I like it so much. And I just really like the whole concept of what they try to do. It could have been so much better. If anything, I kind of wish somebody did it better, but no one really did. At least did that better, I should say. So I get it. But hey, do you like Boktai? Because Bart did that, and that was cool, right? Yeah? Boktai, baby! What's Boktai? Say a while and listen. Basically, it was another Konami game. And you're just some guy has a little gun, pew pew, but it shoots sun. And that sun hurts beings of dark powers, so because they were cool and Kojima's like epic and whatnot, he's like, hey, why don't you put this in your cool little game called Benedict 4, Red Sun Blue Moon? And Infinite was like, hell yeah, brother. This is epic. And I won't lie to you, I didn't know who the fuck this guy was. I was like, the fuck is a Boktai? What the hell is a Boktai? This is stupid. But it turned out to be pretty peak. It is a shame I never got the games though. I know there's ways to play them, but maybe I'll do that one day. I'm not fully against it, but it was one of those games, like, I was a kid, so I was like, I couldn't just get it, if that makes sense. Basically, I was too young. If I had money, I would have definitely gotten it, but at this point, it's like, nah, it's fine. But yeah, To also mention Boktai as well, there's a bunch of content in 4 where they also have chips. They also have the character itself. There's even a little tiny story about it. And certain person who played the game 14 times on stream found out, and it made him very happy to hear this, by the way. That in order to finish the story, you basically have to be outside in the game, and if you're not outside, you can't finish the story because you got to be outside to give him the sun, because Tayo, and then he shoots you with the sun, and he wasn't outside when he jacked in to finish the story, and then I don't know how chat didn't say shit, by the way. I didn't say shit. I wanted to see the fucking suffering. But nobody told him. And then towards the end, it's like, oh yeah, you have to jack out. You have to jack it in the inside, by the way. The crash out was glorious. I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. Like, I'm a very empathetic person. I understand it when a feature or a thing in a game completely ruins somebody and it spoils their mood. I get it. But let me tell you something. It was the funniest fucking crash I've ever seen. It was so good. It's clipped. I think it's in his channel. You can find it. Demi's channel, but it's such a good crash out, bro. It's so good. I'm sorry, but it's just too damn good. But no, and then 5 kind of continued it as well. But the thing with 5 as well is this is where it starts getting a bit different, where like there's 5 got some things, but then like in Japan they got like all the other good shit. And then in 6, there was even more Boktai stuff, but you basically didn't get it here in the States, which is very unfortunate, but it is what it is, right? And but yeah, 4 got it all, baby. So in your face. This is what 4's peak. But yeah, if you played Boktai, good for you, bro. I am actually envious. I envy you. Damn. Did you? Okay, I actually have a question. How often did you actually play outside or like play next to a window? I'm definitely curious if you see this. But overall, back to the boss now. Let's talk about Duo. You have a wonderful night, Gideon. I'll upload this on YouTube so you can finish it all and listen to it while you work or some shit. Have a good night. Let's talk about the final boss. The final boss of Peak. And that's Duo. You see, Duo that's a glorious man right there. Alright? And I'll tell you why. Battle number 4 introduced mechanics. It introduced chips. It introduced combos. That's like, do you like this combo? Do you like these chips? Do you like these forms? More importantly, do you like Dark Soul? Well, 1, fight yourself. Throughout the game you can fight yourself, but in the final boss, before you actually fight him, he makes you fight your dark self. And I didn't mention Dark Soul until now because Dark Soul is fucking nuts as a concept. This is the one thing they got absolutely right. They nailed it. I wish they did it again, but they never did, and I completely understand why. Kind of, sort of. But basically, you're fighting yourself. So if you have whatever's in your folder, that's what you got. Whatever's in the Navicus, that's what it has. You're fighting yourself. It's like a PvP battle, but not really. It's still controlled by an AI. You know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, bro, that's awesome. You know how funny it is to get something down to 1 HP and it actually goes down to 1 HP because it has an undershirt? Damn. This game's peak! And you kill it. And you're like, yeah, I purged the darkness. Cool. Now face me. And this motherfucker, let me tell you something about Duo. Do you like air hockey? Fuck you. No, you don't. You do not like air hockey anymore. Because that bastard has 2 panels, or 2 rows of panels gone. Or is it columns? Might be columns. Just 2 columns of panels gone. Just like that. And guess what? Chips like air hockey like to run around the ground. And if you depend on that chip, well, you're kind of fucked. Oh, shit, bro. Damn. Okay, I have to change up my plan a little bit. Oh, I Dark Soul. I can use Dark. No. It's gone. Killed it. Idiot. Damn it. Shit. Duo basically tells you to put on your goddamn big boy pants and fight me like a man. And boy, is he a man. It's one hell of a boss fight, I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, obviously, there's some pretty funny things you can do. Like, funnily enough, you can do Super Vulcan with Gut Soul, or even Metal Soul, really, because you can times 2 it. There's, like, a lot of things you can do in this game. You can just, like, have fun. I don't know why. He's such a challenging fight. Like, in my opinion, he's kind of the hardest fight next to Nebula Gray. Honestly speaking, if you had a fight between Nebula Gray and Duo, tell me who's the harder one. I'll go with either or, bro. Whatever you say about Nebula Gray, I agree with you. Look, shake hands. Because fucking Christ, dude, this is such an amazing boss fight. And guess what? We gotta do it 3 times, baby. 3 times. I completely forgot. I didn't talk about the final boss in Alpha in 3. Yeah, you fight this ball of goop. I'm not telling you the final boss in Battle Over 3 though. The post game. You find that shit out on your own. That's just peak. Do it yourself. Get the custom style and team style and get the shit your own. But you already know. Yeah. But yeah, back to Duo. Duo, peak. So damn good. And you do it 3 times. And if you happen to complete 100%, he turns gold, and it's a lot harder. So that's pretty sick. Now I will give it to you. Post game in this game it's just kind of there. Basically, there's a part where you have to have like all the dark chips, not dark, but what they considered evil chips. And once you do, you have access to this place called Black Earth. And essentially, you just go around there and you just fight doors. And then you fight like a big old boss at the end. And then you could get your prize, which is Hub Batch, by the way. Did you know that? Did you also know that this is where they fixed Hub Batch by basically making it into a giant ass plus? And they're like, you can never put on Bookstop in this fucking program line ever again. And they made sure of it. Oh, hell no. By the way, Bookstop in 4 is just a fucking square. Not this big old blob of shit. And they're like, yeah, it's square in 4. But Hub Batch, big ass plus. End to end. Fuck you. I ain't letting you do that bullshit you did with me in 3. And I think that's the last time it was a Navicust. 5 just kind of disappeared, and 6 was a Giga chip, which is amusing as hell. But yeah, post game in 4 was like, whatever. It is what it is, right? And that's why I love Battle Over 4. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. But I did promise you guys the most objective list of all time. This is my tier list, by the way. This is how I truly feel about Battle Over. But I'll be fair. I'll actually remove the biases. I'll actually be objective as possible, and I will go and show you exactly what my true list is, or objectively speaking, factually speaking. So let me refresh. Did they refresh? Oh no. Alrighty. So 1 is staying right there. Fuck 1. 1 is absolute horrible dog shit. Oh, can I not? Oh, I guess I can. Okay. I'll just put everything down in 6 and 6th until then. But 1 is staying there. 1 is hell no. Hell no. And then of course 4. All right. So objectively speaking, we're gonna start from top to bottom. I might why are you? I just told you, bro. I just told you facts and logic. If you can't comprehend that, I don't know what to tell you, bro. You're like 3. Yeah, there's already an issue with you. Okay. In 5th place. I gotta do it. I gotta fucking do it. I have to kneel. I have to shed 50 tears and shit bricks, bro. But I gotta do it. I gotta fucking do it. God. It is 4. People just don't understand peak. I get it. I completely get it. I can't place it higher than 5 though, objectively speaking, because there are a lot of squandering many. I mean, I've talked to this game to death, but at the very same time, I am willing to admit that this game has many flaws. They flew too damn close to the sun. That is what it is, though. Yeah, we're for 4th place, though. Yeah, fuck you guys. They ain't getting top 3. Fucking crazy. Get the shit out of here, baby. Oh, actually, I still think White's better. They ain't getting top 3. Hell no. Hell no. Ugh. I still have all those issues with 3. Text those messages, and you might be 2. Actually, it'll be 3. I wouldn't put you past that. That's all you get. That's as nice as I'll be for 3. Fucking hate the game, though. Ugh. 3rd place, though. Now, this is where it gets to get very interesting. Because it is the very painfully mid Network 5. But it is a good game at the end of the day. It's not crazy good, but it's fine. I don't hate it as much as 5. And I feel like 5 you can like get people to play. The thing with 3 is you gotta play that game all the way to fully enjoy it. If you play it casually, just beat alpha, you're robbing yourself of such peak story. That's a damn shame it's gatekept by such awful gameplay or game mechanics. 5's good though. I'll give you 5. Now, this is the hardest decision. Objectively speaking, which is the best? Is it 2 or is it 4? Sorry, I added that. I autofilled. I autocorrected. My mistake. Is it 2 or 6? And I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. 100 with you. If you say 2 or 6 is the best, you're not wrong. By any means necessary, I feel. They both did their job very well. These are the 2 games I would 100% recommend if you play the Battle Network series. 2 is definitely the best representation of the earlier 3, and 6 is the best representation of the later 3. But overall, who is the best, objectively speaking? Grandpa laid the foundation and created such perfection. And his grandson came back, finished the rest. 2 is damn near flawless, in my humble opinion. It just has 2 glaring issues, and one of them is completely optional. Thankfully. I mean, yeah, it's painfully optional, which I didn't even talk about, to be honest with you. Freeze Man, which makes sense. Freeze Man scenario fucking sucks, but it's not a game killer by any means necessary. It's just like that trudge that you have to kind of go with. But overall, the game's still fucking phenomenal. The other thing that I didn't talk about it even remotely is hard mode. You see, Battle 2 introduced hard mode. I'm pretty sure it was 2. I don't think 1 did this shit. 1 ain't good enough. And if it did, I completely forgot. But it created a whole new difficulty. And all it really was, it was just, enemies have more HP. So, and like there's some enemy changes here and there to make it harder. And it's fucking good. This is where the one glaring issue is, and thank God it is optional. No, there absolutely is, and that's why you really can't count it against. But again, I'm going with the mind that people like never played these games before, so yeah, that's kind of like what, like if I recommend a game, if I recommend the person the game, they wouldn't know that first time playing. But the other point that you do have to give it against is in order to even get hard mode, you have to collect all the chips in the game. Did you know that Battle 2 has PvP chips? So does 3, but that's so optional, it's not even funny. But in 2, if in order for you to taste the goodness that is hard mode, you actually have to get these chips. And I mean, if it wasn't for the Legacy Collection, brother, who the fuck are you fighting? Who has a Game Boy Advance? And do you fuckers even have a link cable? You better hope you do. Because even then, grinding for these chips is... Damn. What a fucking grind. But at the very same time, it is optional at the very end of the day. Once you fully beat normal mode, you've essentially experienced the entirety of it. The only thing you're quote unquote missing if you finish hard mode is you get Sanctuary, which even that's like a random ass chip. Or code, I should say. So hope you get the code you want, because you only get one. Stupid. But no, it is a very, very phenomenal game. I cannot recommend it any harder. And why did I give 6 second? I mean, it's a good game. It's a pretty damn good game. I just don't think it is as phenomenally good as 2. But if I had to be 100% honest with you, if we put these two at a bar graph, literally a pixel, that is the difference. That is how that is how close they are to these two. So I do mean when I say if you think 6 is the best of the entire series, I don't disagree. If you say 2 is the best, I don't disagree. If you say any of the other 4 are better, I would wholeheartedly disagree. Unless you bring in Battle Chip Challenge, then that's just peak fiction, bro. Bitcoin, how you doing? It solidified PvP. I was willing to play fucking Hamachi to play this crazy game. Not to mention, it was also the foundation for the Star Force series in terms of PvP. It's just so fucking peak. And the game itself is very digestible. It's very there are some annoying parts here and there, but it's not like it'll turn you away. You'll still keep playing it. You can go either or. That's to me is the objective tier list of Battle Network. 2 or 3. I mean, I'm sorry, 2 or 6. Either way. And then 5, 3, 4, 1. This is the only time I'll badmouth 4. Bastards. Look what you made me do. And yeah, 1 is just don't ever do it. I wouldn't even recommend OSS because even though it has a lot of quality of life improvements, at the very end of the day, it's Battle Network 1. Don't do it. Don't ever do it. Stop it. Just don't. 4, I would prank a buddy with that. I'd be like, this is like the best game of all time. And they'd believe me because I'm me. Everybody believes me. And then they realize they went down one hell of a rabbit hole and they have to look at me in the eye and be like, so good. Yeah. And then I can't convince somebody to beat 300%. That's really hard, so I could try and they'll try. I don't know if they'll do it, but I mean, if they don't, at least they got a good story. Like it's Ascendant 4. I'm sorry. I don't want to say what happens in 3 because I genuinely feel like you should at least experience the story because it's a pretty good story. And it does end the first trilogy very well. If anything, people kind of like to pretend that 4 and 5 didn't happen and then 6 just kind of happened just because it's like a good game, or some people say. But that's my list. Do you guys like my list? This is brought to you by facts, logic, science, alchemy, and whatever other philosophy type words I can add to the end of it. I worked very hard on this list. It is law, by the way. If you disobey the law, you're going to be reprimanded. So I'll obey this tier list. More importantly, the other one, because 4 is peak. Rage Duck or Rage Duck. Can't forget that shit, bro. It's in my fucking head and it won't get out. But otherwise, thank you all for hearing me yap for 2.5 hours. That was pretty cool. I will condense this to like a digestible amount, so I don't have to like hear all the ums and the oohs and the ums. But I promise you, play these 2. These are kind of. This one's kind of No. Water God's Peak. And then of course 1. I feel like if you somehow manage to convince somebody to play 1, like I'd kneel. Like YouTube pranks just got nothing if you manage to get somebody to play Battle Network 1, unironically. But anyways, I've been up for too long. I'm gonna go to bed now because I'm gonna work for like another 10 hours or so, probably. Y'all have a wonderful night. Take care. Buy Monster Hunter. Game's great. If your PC can handle it, if not, buy it in console. Crossplay is a pretty cool thing. Buy Battle Network 2, pretty good game. Buy Battle Network 4, even better game. And buy Battle Network 6, that's a pretty good game. Buy the even games, damn it. Forget the odd games. Those are 3. 3 games sucks. But it is what it is. Y'all have a wonderful night. Take care. Alright, I'm gonna like do this and